For decades, two companies have maintained a near-absolute grip on global commerce. Today, Visa and Mastercard control roughly 90% of all card payments around the world. When swiping a card, networks charge the merchant discount rate, or MDR, siphoning off 1 to 3% as a toll. While typical retailers see profit margins of 5 to 10%, Visa and Mastercard operate with massive 45 to 55% margins. Retailers accepted this math because they had to. Paying the toll became a strict requirement for participating in the modern economy, cementing these networks as an unavoidable global monopoly. In 2009, India presented a unique economic reality, a population of over 1 billion people, but the vast majority were completely unbanked. The average citizen made exactly 6 digital transactions per year. Getting small merchants connected to digital payments required overcoming high physical barriers. A street-side tea seller simply could not afford to purchase, install, and maintain expensive point-of-sale machines just to accept a piece of plastic. There was also a mathematical barrier. When a merchant sells a cup of tea for 20 rupees, their profit is measured in fractions of a cent. Sacrificing 3% of that total to an American corporation makes running the business mathematically impossible. To bring 1 billion people into the digital economy, India could not rely on the legacy Western networks. They needed to build an entirely new system designed specifically for microtransactions. The government established the National Payments Corporation of India with a specific mandate: treat digital payments as a public good, similar to roads or water, rather than a private for-profit product. The traditional card system requires a plastic card and an electronic terminal. India's UPI requires only a smartphone and a printed QR code. Instead of routing through multiple intermediaries for a delayed settlement, UPI connects the buyer's bank directly to the seller's bank instantly. To ensure universal adoption, the Indian government mandated that all transactions routed through UPI and its domestic card equivalent, RuPay, would carry a merchant discount rate of exactly 0. Visa and Mastercard built empires by charging for access. By introducing a free public utility, India stripped away their ability to compete on price. In November 2016, the government unexpectedly invalidated all 500 and 1,000 rupee notes. Overnight, 86% of the country's circulating cash became illegal tender. Stripped of physical liquidity, consumers and merchants scrambled for a way to transact. Shopkeepers quickly taped printed QR codes to their stalls, allowing customers to scan and pay directly from their bank accounts to survive the cash shortage. 4 years later, the COVID-19 pandemic brought widespread lockdowns. Handling physical cash suddenly presented a contagion risk, forcing millions of late adopters to abandon paper currency in favor of contactless digital transfers. Forced by a severe cash shortage and a global health crisis, the population rapidly adapted. UPI went from an optional technology experiment to the strict default method for daily commerce. UPI solved the problem of debit, moving money people already possessed, but Visa and Mastercard maintained deep control over the lucrative credit card market. In 2022, the Reserve Bank of India implemented a new policy. They allowed citizens to link their credit cards directly to their UPI smartphone apps, but restricted this integration exclusively to India's domestic network, RuPay. This graph tracks India's domestic credit card market share. Notice the flat line near 3%, right up until the 2022 policy change, when it shoots up to 16% in just 24 months. By letting consumers spend credit by simply scanning a paper QR code, India eliminated the need for electronic swipe terminals entirely. Without the requirement for specialized hardware, the American incumbents lost their final structural advantage. Comparing daily volume, Visa processes 639 million transactions globally. India's UPI system now processes over 644 million a day. Domestically, legacy networks controlled 43% of digital payments in 2018. Today, that's topped to 21%, with UPI absorbing the difference. The infrastructure is moving across borders. India is actively deploying UPI in international markets, establishing operational links in Singapore, the UAE, and France. By removing the profit motive from the movement of money, India connected 1 billion citizens to the formal economy. In the process, they built a public utility capable of dismantling a global corporate duopoly.